Hello and welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. Today we're checking out Sunset Slope by Wilson Rockwell. Now this is a book I was given to read by my grandparents, my bugga, my granddad, mainly because obviously I love history and we do a lot of history stuff on this channel, and this book deals with a lot of Colorado history. So before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the cover and the back. Now, on the outside of the book, you can obviously see the title, Sunset Slope, a drawing of this cowboy riding his horse to the top of a mountain or a hill, looking at the Rocky Mountains in a distance. Wilson Rockwell. Now, on the side, we also got Sunset Slope. It's a little hard to see, and it says Rockwell. Nothing else along the back. And then, of course, the back is blank, as most books of this age. On both inside covers, you have a map, and it kind of details where all these stories are taking place. As you can see, you see a lot of these cities named throughout the different stories, including, look at that, there's Castle Rock. Of course, we always get excited. I heard Castle Rock, and I was like, is that our Castle Rock? And then I, opened the cover and said, oh, yep, that's definitely our Castle Rock, because we are just about 25 minutes south of Denver. Now, throughout the book, like I said, there's the back cover, but you have writing and a lot of cool pictures, historical pictures throughout. There's Tom Horn. Let's see. There's a picture. There's some outlaws we got going on. Just neat old pictures. And it's so cool because it gives you a little bit more description. Though you do always have a picture of, what the character that they're talking about may look like. It's always nice to have that physical picture, or even like in the case of the Alfred Packer story about the cannibalism, you actually have a picture drawn of the scene, the grisly scene they came across. So this is the part of the video where I usually just talk about what the book is about, which in this case is a little difficult because it's actually about a collection of different stories. Yes, this book contains a bunch of short stories, historical short stories to Colorado. And while some of them are still in the public zeitgeist, such as like Alfred Packer, Tom Horn perhaps, there's quite a bit that even to me were new. And so for me that was really exciting because I'm a huge history fan and we live in Colorado, so anytime we can learn and possibly come up with ideas for new videos, it always excites me. So this was a really fantastic read. And I think I'm just going to give you guys a couple of the stories I've really enjoyed. There's the chapter Professional Killer, and it's about Tom Horn, who we have featured in a previous video, link above, or I should say we featured his headstone in a previous video, when we also checked out the vampire grave in Lafayette. There's also, like I said, the chapter on Alfred Packer, this one titled The Man-Eater, and he's one that we've been trying to do a episode on. We have visited his grave, and I've also gone to the Cannibal Cafe at the CU Boulder College. Now here's a picture of Alfred Packer. Like I said, there's lots of pictures throughout, so it really helps you guys kind of get a sense of what these people looked like, or maybe some of the scenes or towns that they talk about. And this one was one of the longer chapters, but it was, again, one of the more entertaining, just because I do know the story. And, it's one we've been wanting to talk about, so it did give me a little bit more insight. But I think the chapters that really, really intrigued me, and if you guys know this channel, you should know why, but the first one was the McCarty's Last Holdup. Now, if you guys watch this channel, like I said, you should know that name because that's Henry McCarty, Billy the Kid. Now, this chapter is not about Billy the Kid. It's just about, some other outlaws named the McCartys, just similar last name, which I found really intriguing. And it definitely made me want to, look into the story more and see what was going on. And again, it gives pictures. At the bottom, it tells you who they are. And then here's the McCartys they talked about. Obviously, it's not Billy the Kid. We got Fred McCarty and Bill McCarty, father and son. These are both death pictures. Something that happened a lot back in the Old West is they took death pictures of the outlaws. Famously, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Jesse James one. There's quite a few of those floating around the internet. So I'm sure you guys kind of have seen these death pictures. This one really intrigued me, and I think this is one we will probably do a episode on thanks to this book. It's not one I probably would have found, or at least not really as quick as we did. And it just intrigued me because it obviously had the last name of Billy the Kid, so that immediately piqued my interest. And then what's funny is we go to the very next chapter, a Meeker bank robbery. Why this gets interesting is because there is a certain character in here called the Kid. So you go from the Cardis to the next chapter is the Kid. And again, it's not Billy the Kid, though. If you look at this picture of the kid after he was killed, obviously you can see the kid in front of the tree and Jim Shirley behind in front of the wagon wheels. But if you were to take a brief glance at this, you might even say, hey, that kind of looks like that one picture of Billy the Kid. Though there's a better picture over here, and it's like, nope, that is definitely not Billy the Kid. But it was just funny because you go from the Cardis to the Kid. A bunch of outlaw stories in here. I don't want to give away too much. It is kind of a hard book to find still. There is some still in print on Amazon and definitely on eBay you can find it. But if you guys want to check it out, I would definitely recommend it. Because I really enjoyed this read. There's lots of fascinating stories. I'd even cover half of them because I didn't want to spoil them. I just covered, two I think you guys probably know. They're pretty well known in Alfred Packer and Tom Horn. And then those other two with the McCardys and the Meeker bank robbery. I don't think those stories are still told or remembered. So those are definitely ones I think we will try and cover here, hopefully this upcoming year. Like I said, I took lots of notes from this book. I definitely have a list of things I want to research because I think if I am interested in it, you guys will probably be interested in it. Overall, do I recommend this book? Yeah, I recommend it. Like I said, it is a harder book to come across just because when it was printed, though you can still find it sometimes on Amazon and on eBay. I definitely would rate it about a 7 to 8 depending on the story. It was entertaining. There are aspects of the book that definitely tell when it was written as far as how it portrays certain people. Like I said, it has a lot of good, interesting stories, and being when it was written, it's fascinating that a lot of these aren't still told. And thank you, Bug and Granddad, for letting me read this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But if you guys want to see more Culz book reviews, it's going to be a busy month coming up. We have a lot planned. Click that link to your left. If you want to see more about what we're doing here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, have you read The Sunset Slope?